Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Mythic Plus commentaries in Dragonflight Season 1. This is a 17 Ruby Life pool and Ruby Life pools. And I've spent a lot of time in this dungeon this week. It's a tyrannical, raging, and storming week. It's one of the easier tyrannical weeks, but it's still hard. Especially the second boss on this dungeon is just ungodly. But we're gonna walk through this dungeon together and identify some tips and tricks about how, as a tank, how I can deal with the difficult bosses and encounters in this dungeon. Primarily as a prot warrior, that's my main for this season. So this first area is pretty dangerous, very tight spaces, and there's a lot of ground effects to be careful about. And it's really easy to butt pull in this area. So what I found more and more is I'll just pull everything here, because if I don't, someone's gonna back into it and then ended up pulling it anyways. And there's a pack that we can skip upstairs that can make this a little bit more efficient. And so, but in terms of CC and kicks, there's not much in this pack. It's just the little caster that channels an ice shield that needs to be kicked. Other than that, it's not very difficult to manage. And obviously, the Juggernaut needs to be prioritized and watch for the ground effects that the Juggernaut puts on the ground, right? So what I did here, I should have just pulled the pack that's with the whelps on the left, because I think someone ended up pulling that anyways. Like, exactly. See, that's what happens a lot of the time. And if I pulled it together inside the initial pull, then I think it would have been fine, because the whelps don't do that much if you just CC them. And it's not a 4 to 5 week, so I'm not very scared. And one thing, as a prot warrior, spell block is absolutely crazy in value in this dungeon, because there's a lot of things that you can spell block in almost every pack of the trash up until the second boss. So I highly recommend taking spell block. It's on a fairly short cooldown, like a minute 30. You'll be surprised how many times you actually have it available. And so for warrior, the first boss presents a lot of challenge, mainly because the 2-hit tank buster, the spell that she cast hurts a lot, and as a warrior we don't have that much magic damage mitigation until now. Oh, here comes spell block and spell reflection. So spell reflect is on the 30-second cooldown, which should be pressed on cooldown, because it completely mitigates one cast of the tank buster. And the second one, the spell block, you can have it if you use it on pull right after. You see, I pop spell reflect and then spell blocks. So I know I'm gonna, for the next 20 seconds, I'm not in a huge danger of dying as long as I keep up my shield block. So that'll last me all the way until I think the first wave of ads, right? So the mage just randomly died. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we get a rest on the mage. So I'm more or less here. I use another spell reflect, and then the boss is close to the first phase with the ad. So here I'm pretty much fine here, as long as we push the boss in a fairly timely manner, right? Alright, so the boss should get the there it is, the first ad phase. So I'm gonna put down my Ravager just to grab threat, and then hard DPS the boss. Right, we have a lot of good damage on this phase, so everybody did a very good job. Ooh, that was almost dangerous. Right, now another spell reflect, and you see spell block is almost back up. Right, and I should use spell block pretty soon here if I realize it's off cooldown. Maybe after this chill storm. Or maybe not, because we pushed the boss fairly quickly, so straight into the next ad phase. So I'm gonna use my AoE taunt here, and then just to shockwave to control the ads a little bit. There's a lot of storming around, which is not great. So I'm just trying my best to get out of there. And then I have my spell block up. So this is how you deal with the first boss. And then I have 2 charges of shield wall for, it's kind of like a oh shit moment. And on top of that, I still have my last stand. So I'm pretty fine here. Right, the boss is almost dead, so I'm trying to conserve some of my CDs. Well, I don't have that much left anyway. So I use my last stand, and hopefully that'll get me over the edge and last me until they can successfully kill the boss. Another talent that I highly recommend you take as a prot warrior this week is Punish. Punish is whenever you shield slam the boss, you put a 3% DR on yourself with the boss for I think 9 seconds, and this effects overlaps. So if you get lucky, you will have like back-to-back shield slams proc, and basically that means for that duration you'll have like a 10% DR on the boss, and it is huge, especially when you get to high keys, especially on this second boss. During the tank buster, the 4 hits and the bleeds, it helps a lot. It helps tremendously. So I guess we'll talk about that when we get to it. Ooh, that sent me back pretty far. And Thunderhead, there's not much to to I guess talk about as a tank. You know, it's just avoid frontals and don't get kicked back into the next pack. So aim yourself back towards a wall or towards the stairs, I guess. It's mainly a healer intensive pull, which there's a lot of dungeons that requires a lot of healing, I think. And healers are constantly out of mana. We don't have a soothe in this key, by the way, and it's a raging week, so it's kind of hard. But there's not a huge amount of stuff that you need to absolutely kick. If it's raging 4th week, then we have a problem here, because the destroyer here, if you cast Infernal when when it's in raging, then it's painful. But we're just taking it nice and slow, 1 pack by 1 pack, and yeah, hopefully we don't have too many deaths here. This is definitely the most dangerous section in terms of ads, and sometimes it feels like you're wiping on every single pull. The Cinder Weavers are absolutely scary if you don't have a kick rotation. And as a prot warrior, we can shockwave the flame dancers, so get 2 in 1 cast, which is pretty convenient. And one thing you want to be careful is not to over CC these mobs and push them into DR, because If you do that the second time they cast Flame Dance, then ooh, you're gonna wipe. And when you see when the flame dancers get to about when they're about to die, they start channeling. That shield can actually be purged, and they stop channeling. I don't think our shaman knows that. Otherwise, he would have just purged the shields. Everybody's doing a really good job. This infernal cast absolutely hurts on the second boss, and I think this is a part where a lot of groups have a lot of trouble, and it's a really tricky dance to manage the placement of the ads and to bait the meteor that's the boss gonna come down. So it requires very precise position. Yeah, that guy's just moonwalking. Alright, Flame Gullet. He's leaving, so we're gonna pull this pack up the stairs, and hopefully the range will follow here. That's a really nice gate. So I'm just telling the mage to come over here, otherwise he blinked in at the last second. A little risky. But other than that, we lost shaman, but the pull is almost over, so it's fine. All right, one more infernal. I'll wait for a res, and then we can head up. And hopefully we'll make it a good time before Flame Gullet comes back down. So see, I'm just checking the position. Okay, we're kind of in a tight spot, because if we went ahead, we would have pulled. But they're saying to go around, so I guess we can just go around. We're skipping the next, the last patrolling pack after the final destroyer. Because we pull a little extra at the start. I think this might actually be faster than wait for the dragon to take off again. It's definitely a little safer, I'd say. All right, so we're just hugging this wall here, and I'm having a lot of trouble with my fat ass. Alright, so I'm just gonna leap over. Alright, cool. So pulling everything in. And that's the last pack of trash before we get to the second boss. And we wiped once on the second boss, I remember that. So we'll find out what was going on. I know part of the reason is because we didn't lust, and we ended up lusting on the second pull, which we got it. So I guess it worked out at the end. We're not doing terribly on time. 15 minutes should be more than enough, even after the single wipe. So I'm gonna pull the boss here. And you want to fight the boss in an open area, as open as possible. Because if the meteor that the boss summons down, if it hits a wall or a tree, it's gonna fucking explode. Alright, so very nice placement of the meteor here. Alright, you can see I'm just spamming Shield Slam. And I ended up using my trinkets and Victory Rush here. Another very, very good bait for the meteor. Alright. And now I'm just keeping Shield Slam up on the boss as much as possible. And oh, I think the healer died first and everybody just fell apart because of Infernal. It was so quick I didn't even look at it. But the good news is, I guess, we didn't lust, so... Oh, I guess we try again. But everybody's having very, very good placements in terms of position and how to bait the meteor spawns. So, that's not too bad. Alright, round 2. Alright, very good bait. Alright, here comes the tank buster. Alright, see, I have enough punish stacks on the boss that I only need to use one victory rush, and then I can get myself through that phase. Alright, and my demo shot is back up, so I'm gonna use my demo shot and my trinket probably on this next instance, the next time he does the tank busters, and then just spamming shield slams. Alright, that's another tank buster successfully dealt with. I still have I guess I used my shield wall. I still have one charge of shield wall. I still have my last stand. So, and after that, another shield wall should be available to me. All right, so again, spamming shield slam, and then demo shot, and last stand. I don't think I even need to use last stand there. I was pretty fine in terms of health. A healer is doing a really good job keeping everyone alive during Infernal, and using his own defensives as well. I think it just bubbled. Alright, this is probably gonna be my second charge of shield wall here. Yep. I'm just spamming shield slam and ignore pain. So just to get as much DR as possible on the boss. And one more ad, I think we're fine. Well, and then we're good. Maybe not even the ad. We can just tunnel boss now, right? Yeah, definitely. Very, very cool. So I think everyone's doing a very, very good job baiting the meteor. I think that's like almost half the battle, and then the another half is just the healer staying on top of his game. Really, really huge here. And then this pull, I'm just gonna pull everything, save a little time. The smaller ad's gonna die quick, so. Something that's potentially really scary here is if we have a lightning storm and a raging at the same time, that's gonna be pain. So we're just focusing down this channeler as much as possible. All right, pack's almost dead. I can move on. And then you need a 2-person rotation kick on the flash fire. Otherwise, someone's gonna die. And we're still doing very good on time. 9 minutes, as long as we don't wipe again on the last boss, should be fine. And we have 2 range players, so I'm anticipating more damage on the dragon during the first phase. That's gonna help us propel this fight into a more favorable scenario for us. So basically, for the last boss, everybody wants to stay in the middle as much as possible, and whenever you can, you want to focus your damage on the dragon, because the dragon is the one that's putting those flame spits on your party, and that's one of the worst mechanics about this boss. Other than that, it's just the dispel on the tank buster. And I think the healer's doing a really good job with everything, so I'm not foreseeing a lot of problems. And the reason you want to all stay relatively in the middle is because there's a better chance that the dragon will land on the platform to do his frontal cone. I think the shaman just released, so we're gonna deal with this pack first before and wait for the shamans to get here. Alright, it's coming down, so we can do this middle pack. Again, lightning storm plus raging could be very scary. There it is. Alright, got around to it successfully. As long as we don't wipe here. Actually, even if we wipe, we have another try, I think. But that's obviously not something you want to think about. So I'm just telling one, focus dragon and don't stay near the edge, and we should be good. This boss is significantly nerfed, so it's a little easier to deal with now comparing to like the first week. The first week is absolutely painful. Alright, so I'm just dropping my puddles a little further away. See, if we all stay in the middle, the dragons are very likely to come down on the platform, and the melee can actually get some uptime. Alright, and the shaman just did a really cool tech here. So whenever you get targeted by the flame spit, you want to stay near the pillars. Because there's a chance you'll spawn some of the puddles inside the pillar and save some very precious real estate on this fight. You can see the dragon is almost at 55%. And the dragon comes down and they merge together when either of them gets to 55%. So here is, you also want to fire off a taunt or a AoE taunt here, because for some reason the threat resets, which is, I mean, I guess, but you just want to make sure you don't randomly get your DPS meleeed by the boss. So stay on top of it. And then we lust here, and did we? Or maybe not, because we don't have lust. So, but you want to focus the dragon here. As long as the dragon's dead, you're pretty much over. The key's pretty much over. The boss by itself, it's pretty easy to deal with. It's just the dispel on the tank, and you can see I'm even switching to battle stance just to get a little bit more damage in. But that's it, pretty much. I have been working really hard to push keys, but it's a little frustrating sometimes. It's really hard this season for the healers. I feel like a lot of the healers are struggling just to meet the healing checks. So props to all the healers out there. I appreciate you guys, and you guys are doing a tremendous job. But hopefully you enjoyed looking at this VOD and diving into some more details. Thank you guys very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye!